Market research is a systematic gathering and interpretation of information about individuals or organizations using statistical and analytical methods and techniques of the applied social sciences in response to specific research objectives to gain insight and/or support decision-making. It's basically any planned activity that provides you with more information, knowledge, and insight into a particular phenomenon of interest. In a marketing context, market research assists marketers in making more informed business decisions about the various aspects of their own marketing mix, as well as to develop a deeper understanding of the business's context, the environment in which it operates, its competitors, and most importantly, its customers and consumers. From the assessment of what new products and services to offer and at what price point, to building an understanding of the very individuals those products and services could be marketed to and how best to do this, market research provides guidance and insight into the possible solutions to these pressing business issues. Today we're going to touch on the role of surveys for market research, of which questionnaires and interviews are the two main categories. Surveys allow marketers to gather information about a particular phenomenon from a select sample group with the aim of providing a better understanding of the larger target population under review. In an ideal world, we'd want to survey each and every individual to which our product or service may be relevant, to provide us with every possible source of information that could help us answer our research questions. But this just isn't realistic or feasible. So we design surveys in such a way as to gather as much information as effectively and efficiently, so basically as quickly and as cheaply as possible, given the resources at our disposal. And we then use statistical and analytical techniques to make inferences about the larger population being studied. The time span needed to complete the survey brings us to the two different types of surveys: cross-sectional surveys and longitudinal surveys. Cross-sectional surveys collect information about a particular topic at a single moment in time. It provides us with a snapshot of the current landscape in which we are currently operating. Longitudinal studies collect data at multiple points in time and examine the changes in the data gathered over this period. It provides us with a view of trends and/or patterns and measures the changes in these over time. In survey research, the instruments that are utilized can either be an interview or a questionnaire. Now, an interview is either structured, in that interview is presented with exactly the same questions in the same order and follows a predetermined outline to prompt for specific responses. Or it's unstructured, whereby the interview is more conversational and free-flowing in nature, and there are no standardized formats. Although unstructured interviews are more informal, the interviewer still probes for specific information regarding the particular topic under review, and some questions may have been prepared in advance, but the structure and the format is not prearranged or standardized. Questionnaires are a type of survey that use questions to measure either separate variables or aggregate data in the form of a scale or an index. We would have all completed a questionnaire at some point in our lives, sometimes without even realizing it. When you fill in an application form for a new medical aid scheme, vehicle finance, or even your new job, or when you offer your feedback on your bank's level of service by pushing one of those little red, yellow, smiley button faces while waiting for a teller, you're completing questionnaires that are designed to source specific information about you in your role as either the consumer, the customer, or the client. The usual questions found in questionnaires are closed-ended questions, which are followed by a set number of response options. Closed-ended question formats limit respondents with a list of choices from which they must choose what they deem is the best answer. Most questionnaires are therefore considered to be forced choice. However, some may offer the respondent the option of foregoing an answer. These types of questions are often in multiple choice format, or in a rating scale format along the scale continuum. The most frequently used scale is the Likert scale, which lists response options to a statement along a continuum, for example, strongly agree to disagree. There are questionnaires that also ask open-ended questions to explore the possible answers that respondents may have. Open-ended questions are qualitative in nature, as the respondent is able to submit their own individual response to a specific question with no real limitations, other than potentially the space available or the number of text characters that they have to write their answer. As an example, an open-ended question could be, what do you love about your favorite brand of toothpaste? You could then state that you like the taste, or that tingling feeling after brushing, or that you think it makes your teeth look whiter and brighter. The options are boundless. As the number of potential answers is limitless, these types of open-ended questions are slightly more complex to analyze, but they do allow us to uncover new insights that may have otherwise been left unexplored using closed-ended questions. To process this information, respondents' answers are grouped, categorized, and coded into similar overarching statements or themes for analysis. WordStorm is also a great way to represent this data visually and identify those statements or themes that are more prevalent than others. Traditionally, questionnaires were administered to people using, you guessed it, paper and pencils. However, advancements in technology have enabled the use of a multitude of different devices and channels. Questionnaires are now completed face-to-face using tablets, PCs and laptops, or remotely using online channels such as electronic web-based surveys, emails, social media platforms, and opinion polls, using mobile phones through SMS, USSD strings, and even computerized kiosks placed in public areas and in-store environments. Technology has also provided marketers with more cost-effective options that have faster turnaround times, some even providing research results in real time. Examples of some businesses breaking really new ground in this space in the South African context include Money for Jam is a location-based mobile platform that has an extensive network of jobbers who can provide their opinions and feedback to your research questions in real time. And they can even be your mystery shoppers, giving you real-time insights about their real-time consumer experience in store. Pondering Panda conducts digital interviews across all major digital platforms, reaching respondents through SMS, USSD, IVR on their feature phones, on mobile apps, and both feature phones and smartphones, or on PCs and tablets. Springleap is a crowdsourcing platform with a network of over 180,000 advertising agency creatives and strategists, which are available on demand to help clients strengthen marketing campaigns and discover trends. There are also many organizations that conduct large surveys for the industry as a whole on a national level, providing marketers with a free resource of information. Two worth noting are the South African Audience Research Foundation, or SARF, and Statistics South Africa. SARF's main objective is to direct and publish media audience and product brand research for the benefit of its stakeholders, thereby providing data for target marketing and the establishment of a common currency for the buying and selling of traditional media space and time. They measure the audiences of all traditional media, such as newspaper, magazine, radio, TV, cinema, and out-of-home media. Research surveys are conducted every year to provide updated audience information for all traditional media. You may have come across terms such as AMPs, RAMs, TAMs, and ORMs, which categorize results per media type. They also provide guidelines as to how different markets can be segmented across living standard measures, or LSMs, attitudes, life stages, and lifestyles. Statistics South Africa undertakes national surveys and projects. For example, the National Census, Community Survey, Labour Force Survey, General Household Survey, amongst others. It is a useful source of information to aid marketers in understanding the bigger economic, social, and political context and environment in South Africa, on both a national and a regional level. Now, the information sourced through interviews and questionnaires can be both qualitative and quantitative in nature, and can be analysed using both statistical and inferral methods. Some of the benefits of interview techniques is that it can provide more in-depth detail about more abstract phenomena, like personal feelings, perceptions, and opinions. Respondents are also able to use their own words, and ambiguities can be clarified and incomplete answers followed up immediately. Questionnaires, on the other hand, are more scalable, relatively inexpensive, and fairly quick to execute given their standardized template format. However, these traditional research methodologies do have their limitations and some inherent flaws, as they all rely on consumers to self-report how they think or feel about the phenomenon being investigated. This is where neuromarketing can add value. Have a look at the optional activity in this module if you're interested to find out more about neuromarketing.